Two of the most pivotal confrontations in Game of Thrones. CleganeBowl, Sandor versus Gregor Clegane, and Jaime versus Cersei Lannister. These scenes carry deep emotional, thematic, and narrative weight, concluding long-running character arcs in the final season. Let's dive in. Welcome to the realm where dragons soar, swords clash, and secrets burn beneath the Iron Throne. If you're obsessed with Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and all the hidden lore of Westeros, then you're in the right place. Hit subscribe and ring that bell icon to join our growing brotherhood of fans, because in this channel, the watch never ends. CleganeBowl and Jaime vs. Cersei. Analysis of redemption, hatred, and tragedy in Game of Thrones. Throughout Game of Thrones, certain rivalries burn steadily beneath the surface, culminating in final confrontations in Season 8. Two of the most anticipated and symbolically charged were CleganeBowl, the long-awaited showdown between the Clegane brothers, and Jaime vs. Cersei, the emotional and morally complex culmination of the Lannister twins' relationship. These moments represented vastly different types of conflicts, one rooted in hatred and revenge, the other in love, dependency, and tragedy. Together, these confrontations explore recurring themes in Game of Thrones: fate, choice, destruction, redemption, and the gray morality that defines Westeros. This analysis will dissect both storylines, how they contrast and intertwine, and what they reveal about the characters and the show's broader philosophical messages. CleganeBowl, Sandor vs. Gregor. The Brotherhood of Brutality. Sandor the Hound Clegane and Gregor the Mountain Clegane are not just brothers. They are opposites forged in the same fire. Both were products of brutal violence, but while Gregor fully embraced monstrous cruelty, Sandor battled to resist it. From early on, Sandor's hatred for Gregor is established as something deep and personal. He tells Sansa about how Gregor burned his face over a toy, an act that shaped his fear of fire, his cynicism, and his disillusionment with honor and knighthood. Gregor, on the other hand, is barely human. His transformation into an undead bodyguard under Qyburn's experiments only deepens his symbolism. Gregor is death, a walking manifestation of violence unchecked by humanity or conscience. CleganeBowl, then, is not merely a fight between brothers. It's the Hound's final confrontation with the embodiment of the trauma, hatred, and rage that have defined his existence. The setup in King's Landing. During Daenerys' siege of King's Landing in Season 8, Episode 5, The Bells, Sandor finds his way to the Red Keep, accompanied by Arya Stark. Hey, the show presents a pivotal moment. Sandor stops Arya and tells her to turn back. "If you come with me, you're going to die here," he says, offering her a choice he never gave himself. Arya calling him Sandor for the first time reflects his growth, his more than the Hound now. This is perhaps Sandor's most redemptive moment. Not his death, not the killing of his brother, but this, choosing to break the cycle and encouraging another to do the same. The duel to the death. CleganeBowl begins as fire rains from the sky, the Red Keep crumbling, and Daenerys wreaking havoc. The visual chaos mirrors Sandor's internal war. When he finally confronts Gregor, it's clear this isn't about victory. It's about release. Gregor kills Qyburn without hesitation, an immediate signal that is unbound even by loyalty. When Cersei quietly slips past the brothers, the message is clear. This fight is beyond politics or duty. Their battle is visceral, ugly, and mythic. The Hound stabs his brother repeatedly, to little effect. The Mountain, zombified and seemingly invulnerable, is no longer even a man. Sandor, realizing that Gregor cannot be killed by conventional means, tackles him into the flames below. A poetic end, given that fire symbolized both his fear and his brother's original crime. Themes and symbolism. Fire as redemption. Sandor dies in fire, the very element that once scarred him. It is both symbolic and ironic. He conquers fear by embracing it. Revenge versus redemption. Unlike Arya's journey, which turns from revenge to survival, Sandor achieves redemption through revenge. However, his redemption is not in killing Gregor. It is in choosing to save Arya, to care for another before sealing his fate. Humanity versus monstrosity. The Hound, often labeled monstrous, proves himself human. Gregor, once a man, becomes a monster so literal he transcends death. CleganeBowl delivers more than fan service. It is a deeply mythological moment, an allegory of man versus monster, trauma versus healing, and rage versus peace. Jaime versus Cersei, a tragic love story. The twin flame bond. From Season 1, Jaime and Cersei's relationship is taboo, manipulative, and toxic. Yet, it's also deeply human. Two people whose identities are wrapped so tightly around each other that they cannot function separately. Cersei is controlling, politically ambitious, and fiercely maternal. Jaime, while arrogant and impulsive, grows into one of the most complex characters in the show. His journey from Kingslayer to Brienne's ally to a man seeking atonement stands as one of the strongest character arcs until the final episodes. Jaime's redemption and regression. Jaime's shift begins after losing his hand, a literal and symbolic castration that forces him to redefine himself. His time with Brienne teaches him honor, humility, and even love. But Season 8 sees a reversal. After a brief romantic interlude with Brienne, Jaime chooses to return to Cersei, saying, "I'm hateful too." Many fans saw this as a betrayal of his arc, but from a psychological perspective, it's a brutal return to self-awareness. Jaime's decision is not about love, it's about fate. Jaime realizes he cannot escape who he is. In a show where destiny and identity are major themes, his return to Cersei is his surrender to inevitability. Cersei's fall from power. Cersei's final episodes show a woman slowly unraveling. Gone is the composed, wine-sipping queen of Season 6. As Daenerys attacks King's Landing, Cersei's calm slips into fear, denial, and desperation. She believes, perhaps naively, that the Red Keep is impenetrable. Her inability to flee or strategize reveals her fatal flaw, her belief in her own invincibility. The final moments, love in the ruins. As the Red Keep collapses, Jaime fights his way back to Cersei. Their reunion in the crypts is tender, tragic, and raw. Trapped under the city they sought to control, they die in each other's arms. Cersei pleads, "I don't want our baby to die. I want our baby to live." Jaime comforts her. "Nothing else matters, only us." These lines harken back to earlier seasons, emphasizing how insulated they are from the world, a dangerous love that denies responsibility. The collapse of the Red Keep above them is poetic justice. The very stones of power crush them. They die not. Some criticize the timing. The show, often accused of nihilism, actually offers rich moral contrast in these moments. Revenge can destroy or liberate. Love can redeem or corrupt. Identity can evolve or regress. These dual confrontations reflect the soul of Game of Thrones. Brutal, beautiful, and morally complex. They ask not just who will win the throne, but who are we when everything burns. Thanks for watching, folks. This was one for the history books. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into the biggest moments in Game of Thrones. Until next time, keep it locked and keep it wrestling.